Alright, starting in the bottom as the teal Scorpion Cell player, we have Last, otherwise known as... Well, we don't actually know that. It's just Last. In the top, his direct opponent playing as the blue Russia, we have DarkPestilence. Both players evidently Chinese, judging by the language used in the lobby sometimes, but so ultimately we can probably expect a decent quality game here, but we've got a small tinge of lag, but it doesn't seem to be making that much of a difference. I haven't seen either of these players play before, so it could all up in the air. Now, as for the map pool rotation, so what we've got, as you can see here, we've got Tournament Bowl, a map copy, well not quite copied over, but copied over from Kane's Wrath. And then after that, we will have... I've forgotten the map pool again. I know we have Obsidian Knoll... Oh yeah, it's Raven's Pass after this, and then Obsidian Knoll as the deciding map. So, that's what we've got. Now, for the those in the YouTube recording, you will note the distinct lack of flags as the game has been recorded. I will try and remedy that now. We have Cell on the bottom, and we have Russia, rather convenient, at the top, which is my top option, so you will now be able to see the flags of the recording. The scoreboard is updated with the right names, so there is that at the very least. As we see, very much conventional style play here. We're going for a double refinery opening from DarkPestilence here, so he's working on that, whereas we can see Last has just sold off his initial refinery, and now standing quite comfortably on top of those miners. With a sizable initiate force as well. There's also a fair amount of conscripts coming out from DarkPestilence in an effort to try and keep the numbers even, so he will, but he's got plenty of cash left over as well, so he will be able to overwhelm the initiates because conscripts are just that much more effective. You see a bit of a late reactor placement, as to be expected I suppose, from Last, and there's not training any spooks yet, although he is going to, nope, it's back to initiates, as the conscript force decides to push through the centre. Whilst we wait for the conscripts who are now in retreat, let's go over some elements of the map. So we've got 4 oil derricks per player, one in the top right corner, one in the bottom left corner, which are initial captures, and then 2 in the centre to be contested. It looks like DarkPestilence has just taken control of the 3rd oil derrick on the left, so it will be slightly more money over time. Okay, and I finally have filled up that bioreactor, although not completely with spooks yet, but we have another 2 out of the barracks. As the conscripts start marching, I'm not entirely sure about the conscript results. There are a lot of initiates down here. They will probably win that fight, but they'll take a bloody good beating. There's a Gatling cannon which preemptively forces the conscripts away. But there's no ghost miners out here yet, so he doesn't have to worry about crashes as we see Mantis tank production starting to begin. I haven't been pinged on Discord, so I'm assuming the Discord stream is actually working, which is a good thing. And there's a wild engineer coming up on the right-hand side from Last, but there is a dog standing by who blows up one of the civilian buildings. Yeah, that's a dead end. Oh, bye. And a veteran doggo. We see a random Tigger APC. What the hell is going on here? Has that got a terror drone? He runs into a garrison and the Mantis tank decides to chase, so he decides to back off towards the conscript pool. I have no idea what's in it. A lot more conscripts coming in, forcing Last to go bankrupt on the defences. Despite the double refinery open on the gem field, Last has got some economy problems. I heard a terror drone infect something. Terror drone has infected one of Last's ghost miners on the gem field. That was slowly wearing down. He'll want to get a repair stinger out for that. We can see that in the war factory queue. And DarkPestilence continues to maneuver around, looking for an opening, keeping Last on his feet, keeping his production going, and making sure that he has no money. But you can see on the top right, Last is basically completely bankrupt. He just got that cash injection from miners dropping off their ore loads. But DarkPestilence's economy is slightly more secure, although they do have... actually... No, oh, that's unfortunate for Last. Oh, the money problem when he's going to get his engineer out in time, nor the stinger. Oh, hello, what's the... Oh, that's not going to work out. Oh, well, we finally found out what was in the Tigger after all. Oh, that would have been funny. Especially if it had hit something important like the Conyard. But there is a radar down, so it wouldn't have been that bad. We're going back to old 332, 331 tactics here now. I haven't seen someone try a Tigger APC rush in ages! Oh, man. Last starting to feel slightly more confident now with his initiate size. Still outnumbered by the conscripts, but that will probably be able to take them on now. You see a random Mantis tank coming up on the right, probably trying to do a bit of scouting. As Last uses his engineer stinger to take over the oil derrick on the left. The DarkPestilence again ahead on the mine account here. Oh, okay. We know why he went radar first for Last, and that's because he wants to try driller. Yeah, there we go. There are the engineers. We can see the driller. We all know what's coming. DarkPestilence has walled off their MCV, so they won't quite be falling prey to that, but they've got their radar. Well, I don't think that's been scouted. Up on the far left. They can't wall that. The Mantis tank is here now. Last is going... No, sorry, DarkPestilence is going to try and wall off their nuke reactor. In order to make sure that doesn't fall prey to it either. There's their tier 3, so we've got tier 3 out for DarkPestilence. Last still working on their cam plug. And the driller has emerged from the war factory. Got the 3 engineers ready. DarkPestilence is looking at his opponent's base, which I doubt he is, judging by the fact that he is chasing that lone Mantis tank, which has just driven by the radar, by the way, so he does know where it is. As the driller sets forward. It does look like it's going to be targeting the radar. However, we do have Borillos in the army composition of DarkPestilence, which is another interesting point. We don't really see Borillos too much. They don't really have the damage or the armor to really live in a main engagement, and basic infantry tend to actually just melt them. So it's a bit iffy, but they're not going to see the driller, but he should definitely hear it now. He's not reacting. Swings off to the right. So I'm going to try and target. We've got a terror drone out. I think it's going to be the war factory? No? No, it's going to be the radar, it looks like. Well, we can see a lot of army movement down on the right. There's the driller, it unloads its cargo. And yeah, that is a lost radar. Assuming it gets to capture it. We are finally engaging the enemy down at the bottom right. Does capture the enemy radar at the very least, so it does get that hit. Mine control starts coming in. The Borillos are exposed on the flank. They just get absolutely eviscerated. This one even gets mine control. As it looks like Last goes on to try and take out at least one ghost miner. Ooh, plague splatters coming in and get a juicy hits in. And they force the retreat. I guess that's what the Borillos look for. No shot shooters out here for protection. It's going to be on the Borillo. But DarkPestilence is going to need some infantry crowd control, and Russia just does not have that. More civilian structures get blown up. There's mind-controlled Borillo still in with the crowd here, and I don't think DarkPestilence has got. There we go. Volkov realizes. There we go. But these plague splatters, man. There's only 3 of them, but they've done a huge number on the conscript infantry ball. We've got foxtrots coming in. Probably to try and snipe them, but there are plenty of archers in the vicinity. The foxtrots decide discretion is the better part of valor, and automatically return to their airfield. Or not, no, they've been given new orders. Oh, they're gonna try. I don't know, yeah, although they're all... Ooh. Yeah, that's an elite archer out of that. They didn't even fire a single shot off either, that's pretty damn poor. As we start to see our final war miner comes out of the factory, or Dark Pestilence, as we switch to Tesla Cruiser production. Infantry build queue is now idle. He's working on not rebuilding his radar, he's going for his industrial plant now. Where's that driller buggered off to? I don't know where the driller's gone. Tesla Cruiser takes a little bit of a beating from the Plague Splatters as it tries to get close. As this is now starting to deathfall in favour of Last here. After making sure that he can stay alive, the War Miners here look like they're going to be the primary target. Ooh, that could be juicy. No, if it was the old bloating tunnel, yeah, but it does claim quite a few kills. A tank drop coming in an effort to try and bolster some of them up, get some armor down here. Pulls the miners away. Smart decision, considering this area is about to become the primary battleground. He decides to back. He's going to send them to eat some of the ore up there. Still no radar out from DarkPestilence, but anyway, here comes the main engagement here. I'll be honest, my money's on the Epsilon player, simply because of Plague Splatters. Look at those conscripts just eviscerating the toxins. No Malva on the field yet. Oh no, there is Malva. Oh, he is providing the debuff as well. So Malva in the cell blob. And this does not look good for DarkPestilence. We've got the occasional Scourge in this armor form as well. And Russia just does not have the crowd control tools to take care of this. The Tesla Cruiser gets mind control. Volkov is going to become public enemy #1 here. We still have that mind control for Rillo here as well. Plague Splatters focus down Volkov. They take him to half HP. They're going to kill him in a minute if he's not careful. Volkov lives by the skin of his teeth, but it's still not looking good. I think this is probably GG here for DarkPestilence. Curtin's not ready yet, and I don't think there's anything he can curtain. There's 2 Tesla Cruisers. The hammer goes down, but I'm not sure if that's the right call. The infantry mass just barely even tickles them. Anyway, Curtin's ready. He's going to have to use it now if he wants to get if he wants to live. Groups up his vehicles. There's the Curtin. I don't know. Actually, no, the Tesla Cruisers can get some try and crush. I don't quite think it's going to be enough. They free one of the vehicles. But that Tesla Cruiser out the Warfighter just gets immediately mind control. There are some very good crushes here. The Scourges are crushing you, and they're providing the survivability here for the what's left of this infantry blob. And I reckon the few Scourges that are left are just going to clean house. Malva as well, just absolutely destroy everything here. 1 kill to Malva. There's going to be another one in a minute. Plagues open up. Or rather, they had opened up, but they've all been killed now. Oh, he's here! Captured ore refinery here, and Foxy Barracks as well. I don't know how much use Last is going to get out of that, but DarkPestilence is bankrupt right now. All of his miners have been mostly being forced to relocate away, and there's a Malva out with a vengeance on. Does sell off the barracks, knowing that because Trisco is parked right outside, he's not going to get anything. Bloatic tunnel called in, but it won't actually be able to spawn in any bloatics that can damage the heat plant. Because there's no room for it. And he does call in a toxin strike, but I don't know how useful that's going to be. As the hammer desperately tries to kill the ore refinery here to stop the proxy defences. Nuclear could be in trouble if someone happens to toxin strike, which I doubt it. Desolators try to cover the Tesla Cruiser whilst it tries to do Plagues, but they're not getting a good result here. Plague Splatters versus Russia, in which they're dealing with Desolators is one of the best ways that Cell has against Russia, because they just can't handle anything. Desolators are Russia's primary anti-nuclear tool. I just can't do a lot, but this Chitskoy has gone absolutely mental, cleaned up all of the mind control. He's gone elite and cleaned up the remaining forces. It looks like, by the sheer skin of his teeth, DarkPestilence is going to survive. These Gatling cannons have well and truly ramped up. He's tried to use Foxtrot to kill them. we've got Shockey, we've got Volkov now back out on the field as well. But the ball firmly remains in the court of last as he rebuilds his Plague Splatter force, rebuilds his Scourge force. Malva is still alive somewhere, he's still killing miners, it's still not looking good. Picks up the Foxtrots actually, which is a pretty good call. Foxtrots are pretty damn expensive. So it looks like Volkov, oh no, he knows that the Foxtrots have died. This could be it for Malva. Yeah, no, that's dead Malva. The Shockies are just going to stand there and watch Volkov torture this poor man, and he kills him. Veteran. Foxtrot's tie and gets some extra infantry damage, and even plants it into the archer force. But Chitskoy's going to want to be careful. There are repair stingers out on the force, so if he gets into any of those vehicles, that will be a very dead Chitskoy. Ooh, he's been stunned by a Scourge as well. He's headed towards Council. More plagues come in. Kills the Scourge, but there are more coming from there. Gets into a Plague Splatter. Kills it quite quickly. Gets into another. The repair stingers are quite far behind. He's going to pick up quite a few kills. But they're now on the sea. He's going to want to be careful with that Chit before he gets... Yo. And thus ends the tale of an elite Chitskoy. But the fact that that Chitskoy got to elite means it definitely had sheer value. There's not a lot to oppose the New Cell army, even if it isn't that big. We've got Volkov, 2 Shockies and 2 Desolators. I'm switching back to Tester Cruiser production as the economy is back online. We've got Bloating Tunnel with an open wall now, right next to the nuclear. But Volkov definitely has a thing or two to say about that. Hammer defense has come back down, which is his only real defense against the Plague Splatters. But the nuke reactor being so damaged as it is means that the hammers are offline, the plagues coming and kill it. And this is probably it for DarkPestilence for sure now, as there's absolutely nothing that can stop these Plague Splatters and Archers from causing mayhem. Tester Cruiser comes out, the Warfare is dived on. The Plague Splatters go right for the jugular. Chitskoy gets in another Plague Splatter, is immediately repaired away. Only now does DarkPestilence realise and bother to rebuild his radar. Because alas, without it he cannot build another nuke reactor, and he has left the game. Right.